Hi, everybody. So it is Wednesday, and we all know what that means. It is time for our weekly chat with Waltito, where I pick a topic and talk with all of the above with Walter, and he kind of listens. I can see a little fluffy on his beard, and that'll bug me if I let this keep happening. So I'm going to pick that off, and then we will continue with the chit chat. Okay, that is better. So, yes, it is Wednesday. How's everyone feeling? Are we getting through the week? The middle of the week, the humpity bumpity day. When I'm not on maternity leave, I work a Monday to Friday job, and Wednesdays were always the hardest for me. So, I hope that we are the thing that helps get you through and on to the downslope to the weekend. Unless you work the weekend, then I'm sorry. There's not much I can do about that. So today we are going to talk about Walter's names. As you may know, he has a couple, just a few, right? But we're going to go through them today and talk about them a little bit. We like to joke over here that Walter has now been given an identity crisis because he has a new name, what feels like almost every week. But do you even have a pet if you don't call them silly names, right? So I want to hear about what you call your pets. I want to hear how you got to them, if there's even a reason or if it was random and it just stuck. Please let me know. Again, does not have to just be cats. All animals are welcome here, and I want to hear all the names, all the silly names, everything. Okay, so we're going to jump right in right now with the most obvious one, his government name. The one that is given at the vet, it is not his wizard name. His legal name, that's his name, is Walter Francis. Walter being his first name, Francis being his middle name. We gave Gus a middle name. Gus's actual name is Gustav, and his middle name is Christopher. So we had to give Walter a middle name, and my husband named Walter, and I was like, well, his middle name obviously has to be Francis, and my husband was like, why? And I was like, because isn't it obvious? Walter Francis. It just fits so nice. So yes, that is his legal name. That's on all his documents, on everything. At the vet, I call in and I make an appointment for Walter, mostly just Walter. But on the paper, it says Walter Francis. So that's his main name. Obviously, we have Waltazar, Balthazar, Fee, Five, Balthazar the Third, which is his wizard name. But I'm planning to make a whole video on the wizard thing, so I'm not gonna get too into it. But that's his wizard name. So Walter Francis is his government name. Waltazar, Balthazar, Fee, Five, Balthazar the Third is his wizard name, which we will learn about on another week. We'll save that one. That will be a fun little one in the future. And then the next obvious one that people know is Waltito. And this was like it just came to me. I think a year ago or a couple years ago now, I made a video that sparked because I was like, you look like a Dorito because he's triangular and orange. We should have named you Waltito. And after that, it kind of just stuck. So Waltito the Dorito. It just rolls off the tongue. That one is, he gets called that one a lot around the house just because it's just so easy to say. Waltito. It's kind of like cool. That's like when he's like a cool guy. He's Waltito. Waltito the Dorito. Walter's gonna be staring at me so much in this video because I'm saying all his names. So get ready. Don't look him directly in the eye. He will try to steal your soul. Just a warning. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to get into the more off the, I was going to say off the grid, which makes zero sense. Off brand, off whatever. Just like, just the lesser common names that Walter is called. He's still called them sometimes, but they're not as common as Walter Francis, Waltazar, Balthazar, Fee, Five, Balthazar III, and Waltito. Okay, so we fell into this. I don't even know how it happened. I called him Walterella, and my husband loved that. So he was Walterella for a while when he was real little, and then it somehow changed into Wanda. We were calling him Walterella, and then And then all of a sudden we were like, Wanda, Wanda. And that's Walterella switched into Wanda real easy. And then he was Wanda for a really long time. This was when he was small. He was like a kitten when we were calling him these names. Another kitten name was Rat Tail. If you watch my first video on his origins, you'll remember I said he came into us. He didn't have a lot of hair on his tail. It was just like a pink string, like a rat. So he was Rat Tail for a little while, which somehow led into Bison Rat. Now this one makes almost no sense. I don't even know how it started. I think it was my husband that called him at first, but he just started calling him Bison Rat. And so when he like would try to get into like the garbage or our food, would be like, "Stop it, you little bison rat." It makes no sense. It makes maybe because bison is like in Canada. No, see, like I can't even. I don't know where it came from. It's one of those ones that make zero sense, but just kind of stuck, and we still call him that sometimes. But yeah, rat tail, bison rat makes perfect sense. I don't know. And then he started growing in all his hair. And if any of you have like a medium haired or a long haired cat, you know that when they're walking away from you, their back fur looks like pants, like Aladdin pants, or MC Hammer pants for the millennials and older out there that are listening. So then he was on a string of pants related names. So the first was just Pants Man. Not super original, but we were just like Pants Man, and it was like na 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 Pants Man. Yeah, so that's how it started, and then it just things started getting added onto it. Like we were like Mr. Pants Man, and then we were Mr. Pantaloons, Mr. Pantaloonies, Mr. Fluffy Pantaloons Man. It just kept getting longer and longer. So that one was kind of fun, and we still call him Pants Man when we brush his back fur. It poofs out really big, especially in the wintertime when he has his winter coat on. Yeah, those pants get, and then he's Pants Man. And then, as you know, he has many pairs of pantaloons. So like sassy pantaloons, poopy pantaloons. But if you're just like, hey, Pants Man, yeah. So that still gets used. And then there's always just the variations of Walter. We call him Walfredo, which led into fettuccine Walfredo. I'm just kidding. That one's not a thing. I just made that up right now. I'm gonna see how easy it is. I don't know. And then the newest name that has been popping up in my past videos is Dennis, and it's a play on Dennis the Menace. I don't know if that ages me. I don't know. I think everyone like millennial and up again will know. I read them in cartoons. I know there was a movie and maybe a TV show. But yeah, Dennis the Menace. Dennis gets into lots of trouble. I don't know. Anyway, so when Walter is in more of like a chaosy mood, he becomes Dennis. I know that has confused a lot of people when I call him Dennis. That's not his name. That's just his getting into trouble name. So, which isn't super common. He's so blinky today. Have you guys counted the blinks? Can someone count the blinks and let me know how many times he's blinked? Because I think I'm not completely watching because I talk and I walk and I move my hands a lot, so I'm not completely watching, but I think I've caught a few blinks. So if someone can count the blinks, if it's over 3, then we're gonna have a magical rest of the week, just saying. But yeah, so I think that's most. Oh, Wally. I call him Wally probably more than anybody else, but that's when he's being real cute when we snuggle at the end of the night and he's like on my lap and the baby's asleep and I'm just like, it's quiet time, and he comes and lays on my legs. I'm just like, oh, my Wally, my little Wally. And yeah, that's my like, he's being sweet and he's my sweet little baby name. Yeah. So those are all the ones I can think of up the top of my head. I know I've made name videos in the past and I may have missed some. So I feel like people will be like, what about this one? And you know what? Then that's also his name. There's so many that even I struggle to keep up. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, please let me know your pet's silly names. What's their original name? What's their whatever name? Like, just, I want to know everything. I want to know how you got to those names. I find it so interesting. Again, it doesn't have to just be cats, but let me know. I want to hear them. But because Walter looks kind of done with this, I'm going to wrap it up. And I just want to thank everyone for being here and for listening. My last short got some unexpected negativity, and it was kind of hard for me because there was some really mean comments. Some people called me heartless and cruel, which is just mean because I don't amp myself up a lot, but those are not words that I would ever describe myself as. So that one hurt a little bit. And I know that going on the internet and being online, I open myself up to negative comments, but sometimes they just get to me, and those ones kind of did. And they've since been deleted because I don't want any of that negativity in my life. But even though the negative comments are the loudest, for every one negative comment, there's like 100 wonderful comments. And that's the ones I'm going to try to focus on, because the other ones don't even deserve my time or energy. You guys do. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches and supports us and is so kind to me and to Walter. And yeah, you're the reason why we do this and the reason why we're going to come back every Wednesday. So that's about it for me today. And I hope you guys make it through the rest of the week, make it to the weekend, and have just a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. And we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.